The list of Republican presidential contenders is so long this year, it would take me 55 minutes to read them. No, I'm not going to. They won't all fit on one stage, and Fox News will determine who makes the cut based on who's ahead in the polls. Now, here's a look at who's in the top 10 at the moment. All right, let's see. Let's break it down to see what we can expect. There's Donald Trump, Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Mike Huckabee, Ben Carson, Chris Christie, and John Kasich. So that's the group that's in. There's also a group that's not in. They're the other group, and right now we're going to talk with someone who might help us kind of shed some light on this whole situation. He's the chairman of the Republican Party here in San Diego County, Tony Krvaric. Nice to have you here with us.
Good to be here.
All right, so how in the world do we stop talking about Donald Trump? It seems to me that he has taken this bull by the horns, and he is, you know, what's the term I'm looking for? But like, I don't care what anybody else does. I'm being Donald Trump, and I'm going to win this thing.
There's something refreshing about somebody who just, says what's on their mind. We'll see if that can take him all the way to the nomination. But I think the media plays a lot into that as well, and they love to cover, the latest and greatest thing that is said. And some of the other candidates are struggling to find airtime. But that's what the debates are for. That way, they all get on there, equal time on the stage. There will now be 2 debates. There will be a pre-debate with the 6 candidates that didn't make the top 10. So we'll get to hear from all of them on Thursday. It should be an exciting night.
Here's the thing that's interesting to me, and that is that the Republicans won somewhat of a mandate in the midterm elections. And there are some critics who say the Republicans have not done anything with that power, with that mandate. They've kind of gone along, and some are even calling him mamby-pamby. Here along comes Donald Trump, who really changes the landscape and really starts calling them on their weakness. What do you think what effect do you think that's going to have on these candidates?
I don't think he's so much calling Republicans on any perceived weakness. I think he's just bringing up things that people have been afraid to talk about. We need to be discussing. There should be no topic that is not that we can't discuss in this country, and too much has happened where people are afraid to discuss one topic or another. We have big problems, we have big opportunities in this country, and we shouldn't be afraid to discuss all of them. So good for him for bringing it up. It forces everybody to have a conversation. At the end of the day, will he be a nominee? I have no idea. The process is going to play itself out, but we have 16 candidates to choose from on the Republican side. On the Democratic side, well, not so much. Yeah. So there's a lot of excitement on the Republican side, and people are taking a second look.
This may be the highest rated debate ever, because he says he's not a debater. He doesn't know how to debate, and he says they know how to debate. What do you think is the fear among the other Republican candidates?
I think we do need more just plain spoken. People are tired of scripted politicians who have poll tested every single word and what they can say is that this word or this word scored 3% higher among this demographic, and putting Americans in boxes, left-handed people, native-borns, African-American, whatever. We're all Americans, and I think people are sick and tired of this kind of divisive politics. And so, I'm not here to defend or advocate for Donald Trump or any of the other candidates. The party takes a neutral position on that. We're looking for the next standard bearer of our party. We have many talented people to choose from, and the process is going to take its time. But people are looking for somebody genuine. I think that's the lesson that the other candidates can take from Donald Trump.
So one of the things that I think is interesting about this race is the big millennial question. My kids fall into that group, and many of them were really, really inspired by Barack Obama and what they thought he brought to the game. And some of them are disillusioned now with the performance of the president and what's happened to the country. Do you think there's any chance at all that the Republicans might be able to take a slice of that?
My oldest son, will be a first-time voter in November of 2016, and he's a perfect example. You have a lot of youth, a lot of first-time voters who voted in 2008 and 2012. As you said, they're disillusioned. They're still they had to move back with their parents, or they're still living with their parents. The job situation is hard to come by. So at the very least, young people are taking a fresh look, and they're open-minded to take a look at the Republican Party. And young people today are looking at themselves as entrepreneurs. They don't want to be spied on their cell phones. They realize that a job that you enter and work there for 40 years and then collect a pension, that is, that's a thing of the past. Yeah. That's not going to. So if Republicans can appeal to young people, I think we'll do well. And that is it. But again, they also look at need the same things that the rest of us want. We want a safe, a good economy, a safe country to live in, and reasonable taxes, and people, the government not interfering in people's lives. So the youth vote is up for grabs, and Republicans will and should compete for it.
Yeah, Tony Krvaric will be, along with so many of us, watching this debate very closely on Thursday. Thanks so much for being with us and sharing your analysis with us.